Hi, my Capricorn. I need to share something with you today that honestly gave me chills when these cards came through. I have been doing readings for years, and sometimes you pull cards that just hit different, you know? Today we are talking about something really specific and really real. For some of you watching right now, this reading is about karma, about consequences, about what happens when certain people tried to come against someone who was meant to be protected. The energy here is intense, and I am not going to sugarcoat it, because the universe does not sugarcoat lessons like these. So here's what I am seeing for Capricorn. There are people in your orbit or people who were in your orbit who made a critical mistake. They went after someone they should not have touched. They tried to harm, discredit, sabotage, or bring down someone who had spiritual protection. Someone who was walking their divine path. I keep hearing the word prophet, but I want you to understand. This does not necessarily mean like a religious figure. This is someone who speaks truth, who carries light, who is meant to guide others. This could be you, Capricorn. This could be someone close to you. Either way, the backlash is happening, and it is happening hard. The cards are showing me that these people thought they were being clever. They thought they could operate in the shadows, spread lies, create chaos, block blessings. They underestimated the level of divine protection around this person. What I need you to understand is that when you come for someone who is genuinely doing their soul work, who is aligned with their purpose, who is operating from a place of authenticity and truth, you are not just messing with that person. You are messing with the entire universe that has their back. The cards are clear about this. The backlash is not coming from the person they tried to harm. The backlash is coming from something much bigger. Let me pull these cards for you because what came through needs to be shared. I shuffled with your energy, Capricorn, and asked what you need to know about the situation. Whether you are the one who is protected or you are witnessing this karma play out around you. I pulled 6 cards, and honestly each one built on the last in a way that gave me absolute confirmation that this message is timely and necessary. The first card that came flying out, I mean literally jumping from the deck, is the King of Wands. This card is sitting here representing authority, leadership, someone who takes bold action. What strikes me about this king is that he represents the person who was targeted. This is someone who carries themselves with confidence, who is not afraid to speak their truth, who has built something real. Kings in tarot are mature energy. They have earned their position through experience and wisdom. The King of Wands specifically is someone who inspires others, who lights fires in people, who challenges the status quo when needed. When I look at this card in the context of your question about backlash for trying to harm a prophet, this king represents a protected individual. They did not ask for conflict. They were simply living their purpose, creating, leading, speaking truth. But their very existence, their light, their success triggered something in others. People who operate from ego, from jealousy, from insecurity cannot stand to see someone else shining authentically. So they plotted. They schemed. They tried to dim that light. What these people did not realize is that you cannot extinguish a divinely lit flame. The King of Wands holds his wand firmly, and that fire at the top keeps burning. No matter what winds blow against it, this person they tried to harm has something these attackers do not have, which is genuine alignment with their purpose. When you are walking your true path, when you are doing what you came here to do, you have protection that goes beyond the physical realm. These people found that out the hard way. Also want you to notice the salamanders. On this card, Capricorn, in tarot symbolism, salamanders represent the ability to survive in fire, to transmute challenging energy into fuel for transformation. The person who was attacked did not crumble. They did not retreat. They stood firm in their truth, and now the very energy that was sent to destroy them is being alchemized into even greater power and purpose. The attackers essentially fed the flame they were trying to put out. How ironic is that? The second card here is absolutely fascinating, and it is a Knight of Pentacles. Now you might wonder why we are seeing such a slow, methodical, practical card in a reading about dramatic karma and backlash. Let me tell you what I am picking up. The Knight of Pentacles moves slowly, but he moves with absolute certainty. He is reliable, thorough, patient. He does not rush into anything without a plan. This card is telling me that the karma, the consequences for these people who tried to cause harm, it is not going to be some quick explosion that comes and goes. No, Capricorn, this is a kind of karmic justice that unfolds methodically, piece by piece, brick by brick. The Knight of Pentacles is showing me That every single action these people took against this protected person is being accounted for. Every lie they told, every scheme they created, every bit of negativity they sent out. All of it is coming back to them, but in a very specific, very thorough way. Think about how the Knight of Pentacles works. He tends his field carefully. He plants seeds, waters them, watches them grow. He does not expect instant results, but he trusts the process. The universe works the same way with karmic justice. These people might have thought they got away with something initially. Maybe weeks passed, months even, with no obvious consequences. They probably felt smug, felt like they won. But the Knight of Pentacles does not care about their timeline. He is building something. A complete dismantling of everything they thought they had secured through their deceptive actions. What I am also seeing with this Knight is that the truth is emerging slowly but undeniably. You know how sometimes in scandals or situations where people have been operating shady, the truth does not come out all at once. It is a drip 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 of revelations. One person speaks up. Then another piece of evidence surfaces. Then someone else comes forward with their story. The Knight of Pentacles represents a steady, unstoppable march toward full exposure. These people are finding out that you cannot bury truth permanently. It is like trying to keep a beach ball underwater. Eventually, it pops up, and when it does, everyone sees it. For you, Capricorn, if you are the one who was harmed, this Knight is telling you to trust the process even if you cannot see immediate justice. It is coming. The wheels are turning. If you are watching this happen to people around you, pay attention to how karma works. It is rarely instant, but it is always perfect in its timing. The third card I pulled is the Ten of Pentacles, and wow, this just reinforces everything we have been talking about. The Ten of Pentacles is about legacy, about what you build that lasts, about generational wealth and stability. It is literally the card of lasting success and security. When I see this card in this reading, it is showing me the contrast between the person who was protected versus the people who tried to harm them, the individual who was attacked. The prophet figure, they are building something real. The Ten of Pentacles shows an elder passing down wisdom and wealth to the next generation. There are structures here that will last. This person is creating a legacy through their authentic work, their truth-telling, their purpose-driven actions. They are planting trees whose shade they might not sit under, but future generations will benefit from what they are building. That is the energy of someone who is truly aligned with their divine mission. But here's where it gets interesting for those who tried to cause harm. The Ten of Pentacles can also represent what you thought you had secured. These people, they might have had positions, reputations, financial stability, social standing. They look successful on the outside, but their foundation was built on lies, manipulation, ego-driven choices. When you build on a false foundation, the Ten of Pentacles reversed is what you get. Everything crumbles. What the cards are showing me is that these people are watching their carefully constructed facades fall apart. The reputation they thought was solid, people are seeing through it now. The career they thought was secure, opportunities are drying up in ways they cannot explain. The relationships they counted on, those people are distancing themselves because nobody wants to be associated with someone whose true character is being revealed. This is a Ten of Pentacles in reverse. The loss of stability and legacy because it was never built on truth, Capricorn. There is also a message here about family and community. The Ten of Pentacles shows the family together, supportive and connected. The person who was protected is finding that their real community, their true supporters, are rallying around them stronger than ever. Meanwhile, those who caused harm are experiencing isolation. Even people who were once in their corner are backing away. Why? Because integrity matters. People can sense when someone has been operating from a place of malice. They might not know all the details, but they feel it, and they protect their own energy by creating distance. The fourth card is the Three of Swords, and okay, this one is direct. The Three of Swords is heartbreak, pain, truth that cuts deep. When this card shows up, we are talking about emotional wounds, about the moment when reality crashes through denial. For the people who tried to harm this protected individual, the Three of Swords represents the pain they are experiencing as consequences catch up with them. Here's what I want you to understand. When you send out harmful energy, when you actively work to hurt someone, you are creating a karmic debt. The universe keeps perfect accounts. The Three of Swords is that moment when the bill comes due and it hurts. These people are experiencing heartbreak, but not the kind that comes from being wronged. This is a heartbreak that comes from recognizing you played yourself. This is the pain of watching bridges burn that you set fire to. This is a grief of losing things you valued because of your own choices. I am also seeing that some of these people are having moments of clarity. Those Three of Swords realizations where they suddenly understand what they did and why it was wrong. But here's the thing, Capricorn, that realization does not erase the consequences. You can be sorry, you can recognize you messed up, but you still have to walk through the aftermath of your actions. The swords are already in the heart. Acknowledging they are there does not make them disappear. It just means you finally see them, for you Capricorn. Whether you are the protected person or you are witnessing this, the Three of Swords is validating that yes, real pain is occurring on the other side. Sometimes we want to see that justice is happening, that people who caused harm are actually experiencing consequences. This card confirms it. They are not skating by unscathed. They are feeling the weight of what they did. Their hearts are heavy with the reality of their situation. There is also an element here about truth being revealed in a way that pierces through illusions. The Three of Swords is often about a painful truth coming to light. These people can no longer hide behind their masks. Other people are seeing them clearly now. That hurts. Being truly seen when you have been pretending to be something you are not. That is a special kind of pain. The swords represent thoughts, communication, mental anguish. They are thinking about what they did. They are replaying it. They cannot escape their own minds and the truth that lives there. The fifth card is the High Priestess, and this is where the reading gets even more profound. The High Priestess is a keeper of sacred knowledge, the guardian between the seen and unseen realms. She represents intuition, divine feminine wisdom, spiritual truths that cannot be accessed through logic alone. When she appears in this reading about trying to harm someone with spiritual protection, she is basically saying these individuals targeted was never just an ordinary person, walking an ordinary path. The High Priestess confirms what we already sensed, which is that the individual who was attacked carries something sacred. Maybe they are a healer, a teacher, a guide, someone who helps others access their own truth. Maybe they channel wisdom or speak messages that people need to hear. Whatever their specific role, they are connected to something bigger than themselves. They have access to knowledge and insight that comes from the divine, from source, from the universe. Whatever term resonates with you. What these people who tried to cause harm did not understand is that when the High Priestess energy is involved, you are not just dealing with a human being operating on willpower alone. You are dealing with someone who has spiritual backing. The High Priestess sits between the pillars of duality. She understands both light and dark. She knows that everything in the universe seeks balance. When someone comes for one of her own, when they try to harm someone who serves the greater good, she does not fight back in conventional ways. She simply allows the natural law of karma to unfold. I am getting chills looking at this card, Capricorn, because the High Priestess also represents hidden knowledge coming to light, secrets being revealed, what was done in darkness being brought into the light. These people who schemed and plotted, they thought their actions were hidden. They thought they were being smart, covering their tracks. But the High Priestess sees everything. She knows what happened even if no human witnessed it. The truth she guards cannot stay buried forever. It rises to the surface exactly when it needs to. For those of you watching who were the ones protected, the High Priestess is your confirmation that you were never fighting this battle alone. Your intuition that told you something was wrong? That was her. The gut feeling that certain people were not to be trusted? That was her. The dreams or signs that kept you aware and protected? All her. You are being reminded that you walk with divine guidance. Trust that inner knowing. Trust that you are being led and protected even when external circumstances look chaotic. The sixth and final card is the Eight of Pentacles, and this brings everything full circle. In the most beautiful way, the Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastery, dedication, continuous improvement. It shows someone bent over their workbench, carefully crafting something with their hands, perfecting their skill. This person is so focused on their work that they are not distracted by external noise or drama. They are in their zone, doing what they do best. This card represents the person who was protected. While others were scheming and plotting and trying to tear them down, what was this person doing? They were working. They were honing their craft. They were staying focused on their purpose. The Eight of Pentacles shows me that their response to the attacks was not to engage in the drama. Their response was to go even harder on their mission, to create even better work. To serve even more powerfully. This is such an important message, Capricorn. The best response to people trying to harm you is to become undeniable in your excellence. The Eight of Pentacles person does not waste energy on revenge or trying to defend themselves against every lie. They let their work speak for them. They let their results speak for them. They stay so committed to their craft, their calling, their purpose that eventually the truth becomes obvious to everyone watching. What I love about this card in this position is that it shows the long-term outcome. While the people who caused harm are dealing with the Three of Swords heartbreak and the crumbling Ten of Pentacles foundations, the person they targeted is over here mastering their skills, building something incredible, creating work that will outlast all the drama. They are literally forging their legacy one careful, intentional action at a time. The Eight of Pentacles also tells me that this person learned from the experience. They took what happened, as painful as it was, and used it to become even better at what they do. Maybe they developed stronger boundaries. Maybe they learned to trust their intuition more deeply. Maybe they realized who their real supporters are. Whatever the lesson, they integrated it and leveled up. That is the ultimate victory. Not just surviving the attack, but using it as fuel to rise higher. For you Capricorn watching this, the Eight of Pentacles is your blueprint. Whether you were the one targeted or you are navigating your own challenges with people trying to block you, remember this card. Your job is not to fight every battle, answer every accusation, or prove yourself to people who have already decided to misunderstand you. Your job is to stay focused on your work, your growth, your purpose. Let your dedication speak for itself. Let your results prove who you are. Keep your head down. Keep perfecting your craft. Keep serving from your heart. The universe is watching. The people who matter are watching. Your consistency, your integrity, your commitment to excellence even in the face of adversity. That is what creates an unshakable reputation. That is what builds the kind of success that cannot be torn down by gossip or sabotage. The Eight of Pentacles person wins not by fighting but by being so good at what they do that the truth becomes undeniable. So let me bring this all together for you Capricorn. What we are seeing in these cards is a complete story of divine justice. The King of Wands showed us the protected individual, someone with authentic power and purpose. The Knight of Pentacles revealed how karma is unfolding slowly, but thoroughly for those who caused harm. The Ten of Pentacles illustrated the contrast between building on truth versus building on lies, showing us that false foundations eventually crumble. The Three of Swords confirmed that yes, there is real pain and consequence happening for the attackers. The High Priestess reminded us that spiritual protection is real, and that hidden things always come to light. Finally, the Eight of Pentacles showed us the ultimate outcome. That dedication to purpose and craft will always triumph over drama and deception. If you are the Capricorn who was targeted, protected, who had people trying to harm you, I want you to breathe and know that you are okay. You are more than okay. You are witnessing universal law in action. You are seeing that you do not have to fight your own battles when you are aligned with your truth. Keep doing your work. Keep walking your path. Keep serving from your authentic heart. Everything else will handle itself. If you are the Capricorn who is watching this unfold around you, maybe seeing someone you know experience this backlash, let it be a powerful lesson about the nature of karma. You cannot harm people who are walking their divine path without experiencing consequences. The universe protects its own. Truth always rises to the surface. Justice might not look how we expect or arrive on our timeline, but it is absolutely real.